Hello, and welcome to another edition of Only in Illinois, your weekly video recap from Reboot, Illinois. I'm Matt Dietrich, and this week I'm at the James R. Thompson Center in downtown Chicago. This has been the headquarters of Illinois state government in Chicago since 1985. But if Governor Bruce Rauner has his way, it may not be for much longer. In fact, the building itself may not be here for much longer. Almost since the day it opened in 1985, the James R. Thompson Center has generated debate. Its striking exterior design by famed architect Helmut Jahn makes it contrast vividly from its neighbors in Chicago's Loop, while its interior is defined by a vast, sweeping atrium that provides a stunning vista from its 16 floors of balconied office space. But the very things that make the Thompson Center so distinctive are what have made it so problematic as an office building. The open atrium is among the largest enclosed spaces in the country and historically has created a climate control problem. It's expensive to heat, and with an expanse of glass panels from floor to ceiling, almost impossible to cool in the summer. Governor Bruce Rauner this week said it's time for the state to cash in on the Thompson Center's prime location by selling it to the highest bidder. The governor said whoever buys the building almost certainly will demolish it and build a new, lucrative commercial development.
This building is ineffective for the people who work here, all of whom are eager to move somewhere else. It's noisy. It's hard to meet with your colleagues. It's hard to move through the building. Very, very ineffective. Noise from downstairs, smells from the food court, all get into the offices, most of which are open here. Very hard to conduct effective work in this building. The good news is we can get value for this building that's very material. I don't want to bias the public auction. We plan to hold a public auction, sell for cash this asset. We have talked to various developers about it. The odds of being able to keep the structure in place as it exists very low. It's just not usable for much of anything. The good news is it's really just a few structural beams and some glass, so it doesn't cost that much to take down, and it could be replaced by a very positive, very impactful new building.
In addition to design flaws that make the Thompson Center impractical as a workplace, the building also has suffered from years of neglect. Much of the carpet and furnishings date back to the building's opening. Workers complain of cockroach infestation and frequent elevator problems. In 2014, Governor Jim Thompson, for whom the building is named, described it as a scrap heap. Rauner said it would take $100 million to rehabilitate the building. Selling it would have several advantages to state and Chicago city government. First, it would bring a large infusion of cash to a state that is facing an estimated budget shortfall of $5 billion. Second, Rauner says the state will save $6 to $12 million simply by moving the 2,200 state employees who now work in the Thompson Center into other state buildings or rented office space. And third, it would put a huge piece of valuable property back on the City of Chicago's property tax rolls. As a state-owned building, the Thompson Center pays no property tax. The commercial real estate market in the Loop is booming, and the Thompson Center's location in the city's cultural, business, and transportation center would bring top dollar. But Rauner can't sell the building without approval from the Illinois General Assembly, which is controlled by Democrats with whom Rauner now is involved in a bitter and intense budget deadlock that grows more heated by the day. Neither House Speaker Michael Madigan nor Senate President John Cullerton expressed much interest in Rauner's proposal. Architect Jahn criticized the plan and said the building should be repurposed, not demolished. Another supporter of saving the Thompson Center is Chicago Tribune architecture critic Blair Kamen, who wrote a piece supporting the rehabilitation of the building and conversion to another use. Kamen called Rauner's plan, quote, premature and ill-informed, and said Rauner is ignoring the vital role the Thompson Center plays in the life of the Loop. Like the Thompson Center itself, Rauner's proposal is sure to generate plenty of debate in the months ahead. If it goes forward, it will mean a major change to one of the country's busiest business and cultural districts, and the end of one of Chicago's most talked about and hotly debated pieces of architecture. That's it for this week's edition of Only in Illinois. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to visit rebootillinois.com for more news on the Thompson Center and everything else in Illinois politics.